the dice one last time.
So you've done a lot of work in your career. I like throwing a curveball at the beginning. What shot or sequence do you think has been the toughest as an actor or as a director to pull off in your career?
There was a scene in a movie called A Simple Plan. It was me, Bill Paxton, and Chelsea Ross, who was a sheriff in that. That night, and my dog Bart. But the wind chill that night in Wisconsin, in upper Wisconsin, was 60 below zero. There was hardly any way to stay still. We're shivering every minute. And they had tents with those old space heaters that kind of look like a rocket and shot fire out of them, you know? And even that didn't warm you up. If you got close enough to feel the heat, it would catch your clothes on fire. So I didn't know how we were going to get through that. And I mean, to actually say dialogue and be real and try to ignore that kind of cold. That was probably the hardest scene I ever did in my life. And then I remember some critics saying it was such an interesting choice that I chose to move my legs back and forth. It's like, that wasn't a choice, man.
I think a lot of people don't realize what it's actually like making a movie or a television show. And I love hearing stories like that because it reminds people it's not all glamour when you're standing there like freezing your, I was going to say something.
Sure.
You know?
Oh, it's true. No, it's absolutely true. I mean, you know, sometimes you're in danger. Sometimes the elements are really horrible, and you can always tell how unglamorous the movie business is when people come visit you, and they leave going, "These are movie stars? Are you kidding me? It looks like they're working at a sawmill." But yeah, one way or the other, it's. We're still lucky, very lucky people. You know, I mean, I feel fortunate every day that I've been able to have the career I've had, and I appreciate every minute of it.
Sir, I completely agree. I think it's, I won the lottery getting to talk to you and talk to people for a living. Getting into why I get to talk to you. So the best compliment I can give you is I've seen 5 of the episodes. If I had the other 5, I would continue watching.
Oh, that's a good compliment.
That's the best I can give you. You know, when you were offered this material, how much did Taylor and Christian sort of give you the arc of like 3 seasons and say, this is what we're looking to do? And how much are you sort of like, I just trust Taylor. This guy knows what he's doing.
I just trusted Taylor because we did not know the arc of 3 seasons or 4 or whatever. All I know is the first season. I hear bits and pieces through the grapevine, you know, about what next season could possibly be. I know a few things, but these only came up after we finished the first season. Yeah, from the beginning I didn't know, but you know, Taylor asked me to do this when I went and did a cameo for him in 1883. And he said, I'm writing a show for you. It's called Landman. And he told me what it was about. And I said, wow, that's interesting. We've not seen that world. I think the closest we've gotten maybe over the years is probably Giant, the film Giant.
Sure.
You know, and not that they're exactly alike, but I mean, there are elements of Giant, you know, that are similar to this.
So one of the things about Tommy Norris, your character, is that he can be deadly serious and deliver these great lines of dialogue, and at other times he's dealing with his wife and daughter, and you see that other side. How much fun did you actually have playing this character?
So much, you have no idea. Essentially, if I were a landman, that's kind of how I would be. And I don't know that I'm capable of doing a role that's completely over earnest the whole way, you know, just completely dramatic or completely comedic or whatever, because real life has everything. I mean, every day of our lives, you know, it's full of comedy, dark humor, drama, joy, pain, everything. And I think that was one of the greatest things about being able to play this part, that sometimes I'm funny because that's the way people are, you know. And sometimes critics will say, if you mix humor with extreme drama, they say it couldn't make its mind up what it was. It's like, well, that would be saying that life can't make its own mind up what it is, because we do have all these elements every day.
So one of the things, I did not know that much about the oil industry. I thought I knew some stuff. And then I watched the show and sort of pulled the curtain back in terms of the things that go on. And so I'm assuming you did research before stepping on set. What were some of the things that really surprised you to learn about the oil industry and being, all that stuff?
Well, I have a couple of friends whose fathers were landmen, and I talked to them a little bit. But I didn't really do a lot of research beforehand. I tend to want to talk to the technical people and say, what does this mean? Because if you don't know what it means, you can't deliver a line properly. You can't make the audience believe you unless you know what it is you're saying. And, I had Christian Wallace there on the set all the time. So if there was a line and I wasn't sure what that meant, like a technical term in the oil business or something, I'd ask Christian. But I tend to not do a whole hell of a lot of research on stuff if I already kind of know, especially. And I've known people in the oil business and even people who worked out there. One of the things that surprised me was how many people are, fresh out of jail or, you got ex-cons, you got felons, you have people like this who can't make $180,000 in another business. And the whole sort of bad guy people who share the land sometimes, I wasn't really aware of that part. And I think that plays heavily into this. Actually, it's a big thing in the show, and I didn't know a lot about that.
I did not either. I got to go. I'm just going to say congrats and wish you nothing but the best with your speed dating the rest of the day.
All right.